Hello, I'm Scotty and welcome to Scotty's Toy Box. Pull up a chunk of internet while we still have it and have a sit down and some fun. This particular video is not going to be about anything really important or um, political or whatever. It's going to be just basically me telling anybody who wants to watch it where this channel's going to go and how I'm going to end up doing it. Now, I bought what I thought was two really great cameras. They were supposed to be some of the best web cameras on the market, and I'm not happy that much with their performance. I do have a great camera program, and I have bought editing software and that I have no clue how to use, which my son is waiting just desperately to get to and try to show me how much better he is at understanding it than I am. Oh well, he is a smart kid, gotta admit that. Anyway, so I have most of the tools I need, and this morning I was talking to Ron about how when I make a video, in the background there's this audio hum. It comes from the electronics in this room. I know you can't see it, I have a countertop ice maker in here and a whole set of, I've got a kegerator machine, so if I buy a keg of beer, I don't use it. It's not even turned on now. With my blood sugar, I have to be very careful about things like beer. But it's there, if I wanted it. It was something we got as a gift. And basically, I have over here on my what you others would call a bar, I have the ice maker and that stuff, and I have a couple pitchers of juice. And sugar-free juices is what I drink. And as a diabetic, I'm terribly thirsty all the time. And I use medicines that they want me to keep my kidneys going because they don't want any damage to them. A little more information than you needed, considering all I'm talking about is that background machine noise. Plus, I have a window air conditioner in my office because of all the electronics in here, so that I have to turn that off when I do a video. The consequence, the uptick of all of that I'm talking about, is that they're not expensive, and Ron has told me he'd like me to buy a microphone, a really good one, and they're only $26 to $30, I mean, easily within my budget. And there's different kinds. Again, you can't see it. I'm going to do a video on my office and soon, but my desk has different shelves on this side of me that I can easily hook an arm to. I was going to get, excuse me, it gets down in my eyes and it itches. I was going to get just a small one to sit on the desk here in front of me. But Ron thinks that, and my son James, he thinks that that's just not going to be good enough. It's still going to pick up the sound, and I need something to hang down here next to my face. Just what I need, more things in front of my face for everybody to enjoy. So we went online and looked and picked out a couple that we're going to investigate. And so beginning of next month, I will be having a new microphone. Once I have that, and like I said, I have all these programs that I was able to get at a very good price because the basics of them came with my two computers. And it's Cyberlink, and I bought their whole Director, Action Series, Sound Series, and the whole thing. And it has features I just simply am befuddled about. Like, I can remove the background if I can figure out how. James, again, wants to explain to me how he is so much smarter than I am. And he probably is. But the thing is, here's the deal. I don't have a perfect setup yet, and when I started this video, I didn't even turn on the lights that are in front, so everything is red shifted. My face is red shifted and that. But like I said, I'm not professional at this, and I'm just getting started, and I'm a little bit nervous and anxious when I start doing one of these. When I get talking, then I get totally into conversation mode, and I go off on tangents. Like I'm sitting here talking to somebody and they mention the subject, and I totally shift gears. I've got to learn to be a little more disciplined. And what I want to do, what I'm hoping to do, is produce content at least once a week, but I'd like to get up to at least 3 times a week. So you get to hear my voice and my views on life, death, everything hereafter. But I'm not going to go really seriously into it until I get the new microphone. What will this channel talk about? Anything, really, everything. But from a perspective of, I am a progressive. I believe in progressive values. I am not a regressive left, and I'm not regressive right. I'm not right very much on anything, in more ways than one. But I don't believe in taking the left view to extremes. For example, I just read a post where one of the I think it was Princeton College or University or whatever, put out a thing on how to get consent while dancing. And you're supposed to ask your partner, would you like to dance? Which is pretty much understandable. You just don't grab somebody and drag them up on the floor. But they want you, during the dance, to keep asking, would you still like to dance? That would get annoying very quickly. If the person hasn't turned and walked away from you, they're probably having fun. If you're not intelligent enough at this point to tell whether somebody is enjoying dancing with you and wants to or doesn't want to, then you really shouldn't be in college. Really. Common sense does have some uses, you know. If a person is standing there with their arms crossed and glowering at you, they don't want to dance with you. On the other hand, if they're all excited about it and are, doing the thing and that, they do. If you are in doubt, do inquire, obviously. But are we gone so far that we have to every 2 minutes or every 30 seconds or whatever say, are we, can we, should we? So I do think that there is an extremist view. I will be talking about religion on this channel, and many people have responded to a couple of things I posted about religion, saying that they thought I was hating on religion. I hate what organized religions have done, what they have caused. There's no doubt about that. I'm angry about it. I really don't hate anything that I can think of. Some of it angers me. I disagree with it. And I will do my best to counter it. And with organized religions and what they are trying to do to make this country a theocracy, and the theocracies overseas that are so blatantly unfair for civil rights, yes, I dislike them greatly. As far as the average person who is faith and probably can't even explain what their God is except love, and they just go to church and they don't bother anybody during the week, and they don't go run around telling everybody at work about their God, and they're not pulling tricks in schools and trying to get changes and they're not going around saying, no, you can't teach my kids, or any kids actually, about evolution. And I'm not going to keep my kids from medical care just because I think God's going to heal them. If they're just an average person who is spiritual, I've got no problem with it. That is not my focus. That goes under your private, personal rights. But when you start bringing your religion into forcing it into my life, we've got an issue. I read a meme that once said, religion's like a penis. It's great to have one, but please don't pull it out in public and start waving it around in front of my children. Anyway, my screen on the other side just went off. This really is going to be messed up video as far as coloring and that, and I'm not a big one into editing yet. I make goofs, I say things wrong, And when I do, I go back and try to put something in the comments to fix it. I only so far have 5 people following this channel, and for you 5, that's great. I hope to someday have a lot more. I hope people think what I have to say is worth their time, which, in all honesty, everybody wants to have a say, so it may not be. I may not get many followers, and if I don't, well, that's fine. One thing I will not do is be using this as a means of financial support. I won't be starting a store, a merchandising. I won't be asking for Patreon or PayPal monies. I don't do it for that, and I'm not going to do it for that. My personal goals, as anybody who knows me knows, is to go back to school, get into the career field I want to do, and then go work in that career field. I have no interest in making myself a YouTube star. All I want to do is get my voice out there, my opinions. Now I can do that on my blog, but what people don't understand is my hands hurt, and typing is somewhat difficult for me. I can type, but over the years, they don't flex like they used to, and the knuckles and joints ache. So I like to save my typing for comments, where I can make good long comments. If I have to write a long blog post, well, that pretty much does me in for typing. So I do it this way. And other people have said, well, why don't you use the voice to type programs? And I understand Windows has come a long way in that. I tried it before, and the problem I have is I have 2 screens, one directly here and one directly here, and they're kind of on a angle like that. 27-inch one that I do my blogging and reading on, and a 24-inch one that I play videos, and right now I'm recording this on. And I do, of course, have different kinds of headphones. I have, you know, the really nice one here, and I've got 2 or 3 of these. Whoops, that almost went in my juice. Excuse me a minute. It's down there somewhere. Anyway, I was going to tell you I have 2 or 3 of these little ear things. I wonder where that one went. Anyway, this hair. I like it. I mean, I've always had good hair, but it's getting annoyingly long. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap this up because I don't really have anything more to say, and my hair's in my eyes, and I can't figure out how to get it out of there. There it goes. Basically, I want this channel to be a conversation between me and the people out there. Now, some people do videos that are, they call them response videos. I doubt I will do much of that, because first I'd have to know somebody was responding to what I'm doing, and I don't know how I would learn that unless somebody told me. But I will give my opinions on things. And if I get to the point where me and somebody else are disagreeing, well, we'll have the back and forth, because that's conversation. About one last thing, about convincing people of your way. I don't like that. I don't go into a conversation insisting you have to think like I do. I once knew a wonderful lady, beautiful, elderly, old, not elderly, but she was older than I am by a decade or 2. And I was a decade or 2 younger than I am now. And I went over and asked her a question. And she told me her answer, and I started to disagree with it. And she stopped me. She said, wait a minute. Why did you ask my opinion if you didn't want to hear it? If you don't want to accept what I am, my opinion that I have for myself, why ask me what it is? You were just setting it up so that you could voice your opinion. And I thought about that, and I thought, wow, That's what so many of us do. And I don't want to do that. If you've got an opinion, okay. Now, I have learned two things in life. If your paycheck requires you to hold a certain opinion, and you need that paycheck, there isn't not anything anybody can say that will change your opinion. So you don't expect somebody to change their mind whose paycheck requires that they have the opinion they have. Also, nobody likes to be proven wrong in front of their friends. But it's even worse if they think they're being insulted or degraded. So if you're on their page, their website, you want to disagree with them in a way that you disagree with their ideas and not their person. That's just simple. Alrighty, this has gotten way too long. All I wanted to do really was say hello and tell you where the channel was going and that I'm going to get a new microphone. Wrap that up in less than a minute and spent the rest of this time fussing around. Try to get that under control in the next one. Be well, be happy, have a great holiday for whatever you have and whoever you're with. And remember, this is Scotty from Scotty's Toy Box. Many hugs.